Holy crap, am I tired. Music swap suggestions for today are not related to the video at all. I think you should go listen to La Forêt by Let's Go and O Valencia by the Decemberists. They both tell really arresting stories using similar imagery, and one of them is so obviously French and one of them is so obviously American, it's just lovely. Oh, and La Forêt has English subtitles, so go check it out in the description. So my video this week is spurred on by two things. The first is this comment from my friend Morgana on my solitaire video. The second thing that spurred on my video this week is some challenging contemporary dance that my roommates went to go see recently. They summarized this show as many vaginas, one penis, which I came to understand meant that there were a bunch of semi-nude people writhing around on a stage, mumbling things, which has spurred one of my roommates, who was very into, well, into isn't quite the right word. She's very involved with contemporary art at the moment. She started ranting a bunch about how we can't define art, and I've been trying to understand her frustration because bad art gets on my nerves as well. So here we go. First off, I need to say thank you, Morgana, for making me feel all puffed up and proud of myself. It's quite an honor to be considered intelligent by somebody as creative and thoughtful as you are, and believe me when I say you do not have the brain of a goldfish. However, for reasons that will become clear throughout this video, your comment also makes me think about a David Foster Wallace quote, specifically the part in This Is Water where he says, and I quote, that if you worship your intellect, being seen as smart, you will end up feeling stupid, a fraud, always on the verge of being found out. Okay, so your comment also makes me want to talk about a story from college, so bear with me. I took a couple of theater classes and I really liked the professor, so I decided one day to go talk to him about how stressed out I was. So I'm sitting in his office complaining about all the things I have to do and how worried I've been recently, and he's sitting there listening very patiently, but really I can tell he's exasperated. And then he does this. What are you thinking about right now? And truthfully, the answer was nothing. I had this earth-shattering realization about how bare the inside of my head was. I had sort of suspected this was the case and had been vaguely anxious about the fact that I didn't have really deep thoughts going on in my head all the time, but it wasn't until that gunshot-like clap that I realized how thoughtless I really was. So yeah, nothing. Contrary to your very complimentary view of me, Morgana, I don't actually sit around all day philosophizing. I mean, really, I spend most of my time doing, oh look, a squirrel, just like you. For example, I sat in a coffee shop for an hour and a half diagramming so I could come up with my solitaire video, and by the end I had like maybe one or two good ideas if I stretched them. Basically what I'm trying to say is that my consciousness is like a dial tone punctuated by the occasional interesting conversation. Which brings me to my roommate's frustrations with contemporary dance. See, I figure if everyone spends as much time in the white noise of their own thoughts as I do, any deep, abstract, or revelatory thoughts that they may have are so distinct and unique from the background noise that they want them to be recognized. And it's those personal and profound things that we try to communicate through art. Art is for eureka moments and passions and things that we don't have words for yet, and probably will never have words for. Which is why when we see bad art, we don't shrug it off like bad food or cold coffee. Instead, we get angry or embarrassed or demeaning, because we want those few thoughts that we have to be portrayed as meaningful and significant. But here's the rub. We don't actually get to decide which of our actions are going to have an impact on people. Like, I hope to God that my most significant moment wasn't something I said while sleep-deprived and hungry in high school. But it could have very well been, because my opinion on what I do and what I say doesn't really matter. What's important is how what I do affects other people. It's ripple effect. And I don't get to control that. And I think that's why bad contemporary art gets under our skin so much. It takes a form that's supposed to be for only the most profound and revolutionary ideas, and construes that form into many vaginas, one penis. It reminds us that our own significance, or lack thereof, is not ours to determine, which is profoundly unsettling. Anyway, I don't really have a follow-up question for this week, so just leave me music suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see y'all next time.